I'm taking the strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 151 of the SZN Podcast. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, guys, make sure you head over to SZN Podcast or SZN Pod. Those are our Twitter and Instagram pages. And there's a link in the bio on both those pages there, which will take you to where we're situated at streaming-wise. So if you like audio, you got Spotify, Apple Podcast link, all that kind of stuff. If you like visuals, YouTube link is also there as well. Make sure you guys do that for us. Flowz, how are you this weekend, man? You all right?
I'm good, bro, man. Yeah. What you saying?
Yeah, man, I'm good. Here to talk boxing as usual.
Let's do it.
Flowz, should we start with the face of boxing?
Oh yeah, only right.
Only right that we start with the face of boxing. Alycia Baumgardner, Detroit homecoming, defending the undisputed 130-pound belts against Linardatou, who, as you said last week, Flowz, this is the only person that's beaten her in the pro game. So she was trying to get a lick back, and she did that successfully. Let's talk about the fight itself, though, Flowz, because it was actually quite a competitive fight, I would say.
Good scrap.
Good scrap, yeah. I actually enjoyed the scrap. Enjoyable scrap, as most women's fights tend to be. And I say it was good because Linardatou... It's funny because, Flowz, after the first round, I was worried. I thought to myself, boy, this... Yes, for Linardatou, because... I say that, listeners, because first round, Baumgardner started like a train, and she's blitzed the skill. Blitzed her, hurt her early, and was all over her like a rash. And I'm there thinking, this could be a easy, quick night's work, you know? Like, I want to see something competitive right now. So I was worried after that first round. But I want to pay big credit to Linardatou, Flowz, because after that first round, it was almost as if, she was sleepy in that first round. And after that first round, she was smiling. You know that smile when you've been hurt, but you try and, fake it and pretend like you're cool. But I knew she'd been hurt. So she came out second round and she woke up. And this girl, Flowz, Linardatou, just started to apply so much pressure, and the work rate, the increase in work rate was crazy. Flowz, you see, she started tripping up the jab. Constant movement all over Alycia. And it was really interesting fight, Flowz, because Alycia Baumgardner, after that first round, you didn't really see that input from her again until maybe the latter rounds. She kind of took rounds off, shall I say. Wasn't throwing as much. And I've noticed this about Alycia, Flowz. Massive fan, as you know. I think she's come on leaps and bounds. She's great. But Flowz, Alycia Baumgardner, Flowz, she fights in spurts. She fights in spurts to me. And when she wants to, she will let her hands go, and it's great. And I think one of her big strengths for me, Flowz, is how good she is in terms of when she lets her hands go, she's super accurate with her punching. Super accurate. Very, very accurate puncher. But she can have periods in fights where she will blitz an opponent and come through those amazing combinations when they come, and then maybe take a round or two off or whatever. And then when she's under pressure again, she'll come forward and do her thing. And I noticed in this fight, Flowz, that I think the pressure from Linardatou was very, very strong. And it wasn't strong enough to have Alycia worrying, but it's one of them ones where, I want to see you be more authoritative when you can be. And when she wanted to be, Flowz, she was boxing this girl easy peasy. This girl was coming in, Alycia was catching over the jab, combinations, counter punching, uppercut, was landing. It was beautiful. But for me, I just want her to be a bit more authoritative with it sometimes, not so much relying on fighting in spurts and whatnot. That's the only takeaway for me. But apart from that, I'm happy with it. In terms, she won, clearly, to me. And she landed a better work. And to the later rounds, Flowz, she was beating the scale up. Like, she really came on strong again, got a second win in the latter half of the fight, and was really, really messing her up. But the medium portion, it was a bit like, oh, this girl's really putting pressure on you, Like, come on, fight back.
Yeah. She was jittery. Not Alycia. What's her name? Linardatou. She was
just very
awkward.
Yeah.
Constantly moving. I call it jittery because it wasn't even so much like head movement, but she was just just moving constantly and trying to work her way in.
Yeah.
And I think with Alycia, there's been questions about her engine and whatnot.
Yes.
People said, she gasses or she gasses out and needs a second wind. She's quite obviously muscle bound for women. So, exerted effort.
Yeah.
Theoretically, she can't exert effort for a long time if you're that muscle bound. But I think she tries to be smart. She says by her own admission that it's a 10-round fight, so she has to fight for 10 rounds as opposed to gassing out. I think she exerted some energy in that first round. I thought, let me not gas myself out in the second round, and then I'm blowing. But it's a 10-round fight, so I think she does have lull periods where she kind of explodes in one round and then she keeps it simple the next round or next 2-3 rounds.
Yeah,
and I don't mind it because sometimes you can see the boxing ability rather than the explosiveness, if that makes sense. You can see what
when you're not throwing as much.
Yeah,
the defensive stuff. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you can see what she's working on in camp because the explosive stuff comes naturally to her. You can see the punch selections there when she's exploding. You can see the powers there. I think that comes naturally to her. I think, especially when I look at who her trainer is now.
Yeah,
those lull periods is where I see
was exactly what.
It's what she's trying to implement in those lull rounds where she's trying to focus on the jab, box and move. And don't get me wrong, Superbad can even do the come forward game. We've seen it do it, but
he can. Tony Harrison actually hits hard. You know, he's got a very good, very respectable knockout ratio. Like, when he wants to be, he does that.
He can come forward. So so I think I'm not seeing her where she's blowing, but you do see lull periods where she's explosive in 1 or 2 rounds, then she goes back to being less explosive. And so I don't mind it as such. I think she just needs to be able to manage her stamina. And maybe that's her way of managing it. But I guess even so, it was an entertaining fight. When Linardatou would start landing, Alycia would want to get back in there.
She'll wake up. She'll wake up.
She wanted to run away with things. So there were some entertaining rounds in there, even in the lull periods. But good scrap. Women's boxing been carrying men's boxing, been carrying boxing as a whole. To be
not just men's boxing, just boxing.
Women's boxing been carrying men's boxing, so all boxing. So another good fight, another good scrap. Like she said, she got a lick back. Detroit showed out. All of them with the buffs. Everyone had the buffs on. Great scrap. I enjoyed it.
I also want to quickly highlight as well, Alicia's. I really enjoyed her body work this fight. I thought her body punching was superb. Worth mentioning for me. Excellent stuff. She really ripped this girl to the body. And I think it paid in the end because towards the end of a fight, let's say 8th, 9th, 10th round, Linardatou, who obviously exerted a lot of effort and pressure, was struggling in those rounds. And that's when Alycia, obviously, as you said, she finishes strong. She's strong towards the end of the fight. That's when she really, really started to sort of take her to school and really, really, beat her up a little bit. So, that body work to me was superb. She was really investing in it from early, and it was great to see. So I want to shout that out as well. You can see with Alycia Flowz, we've seen the progression in her.
Yeah,
how she's changed. I mean, I think she came into the game kind of as a bit of a brawler. Now you see she's more of a refined boxer puncher. Again, big credit to who her trainer. Obviously we know Tony Harrison, super bad. Credit to that. You can see the work that he's put in. So man, she's really, really come on leaps and bounds and improved. And man, she's definitely worth mentioning as one. She is one of the best in the women's game. That's for sure. And it's fine because we spoke about it last week, Flowz, and who that we wanted to see her fight next. And all the people we mentioned last week is exactly who she called out straight away. She said obviously she said she wants to continue to be able to defend. Said she will hold on to her 130 belts because women, they go up and down. So she said she can still make 130 fine, but now she's coming to 135. I mean, she said straight away she said she wants the Katie Taylors, the Maya Serranos. I think she said no. Did that no? She did. Cameron. Sorry, Cameron. Yes, Chantal Cameron. She said those three straight away. So And we already know, obviously, we know why she didn't mention her, but we know Michaela Mayo is by default is in the mix anyways, because she's at 135 now, right? So all the girls that we mentioned that we want to see her fight, she called them out straight away. She read off the name. So really no Flowz at 135, it's gonna get cracking. Alicia's here now. Yeah. She's gonna look to fight these girls, and these fights should be made easily. I mean, two of them already on the zone matchroom, easy peasy. That can be made. Serrano, she will fight. Serrano will fight. So I'm looking forward to all these match ups at 135. And I'm happy that she's also continuing to campaign at 130 as well. If anyone wants to challenge her, she'll easily drop down. She'll do it. She's a proud champion. Yeah, man, it's a nice addition to the divisions.
I would have shouted Eddie Hearn because the way he was waxing lyrical about Alycia at the end of the fight. Yeah. One of the greatest mouthpieces in boxing, man. This guy could do WWE.
The greatest. I can't front, man.
The bars he was dropping, man. Yo, Alicia's head must have been growing because he was talking. Like,
trust.
Yeah. So I think they're probably going to look to make the Serrano fight.
Yes. That's the one. That's the one he wants. Yeah, that's the one Hearn. So it's the most realistic, anyways. Because Katie Taylor, Chantel are tied up at the moment. But that's a sick fight. That's a sick fight.
Yeah. Oh, both bangers as well. Yeah. That's a big fight.
I will say this though, Alycia with Serrano, you can afford to maybe take the low periods against the Linardatou and whatnot, but Serrano's on you from the jump. So and Serrano's strong as hell, as we've seen. Yeah. So boy, you're gonna have to really manage stamina well against that one because Serrano's serious. That's already a fight worth talking about. So I look forward to that. But shout out to Alycia, man, the face of boxing for real. Did her thing. Long may her growth continue, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Cool. Flowz. Frank Martin. Let's talk Frank Martin. That was one of the other cards that we sort of mentioned in passing last week. He was against a guy called Artem Harutyunyan, undefeated German fighter. I like Frank Martin, to be fair, Flowz. I do rate him. Yeah. I like him. I like what I've seen from him. I like him a lot, actually. Very, very good prospect. In the mix, as you said, with all these other young up and coming 135 pounders. He's part of Errol Spence's team. He's Derek James' coach, long-time coach, etc. He trains there with Spence down there in Dallas. And this was, I would say, Flowz, a fight of two halves. Because despite not knowing anything about this, I don't know about you, but I didn't really know much about the opponent, Flowz. Unknown. But obviously, I've preyed the record beforehand, unbeaten, which doesn't speak to much, but then I'm seeing that he was a Olympic bronze medalist in the 2016 Rio Olympics. So he's got pedigree, at least amateur-wise anyways. And I think, to me, Flowz, it could be seen that this guy was actually good, based on this fight and how it played out. Frank Martin, to me, Flowz, I rated because I think for me, I've always rated he's a very good combination puncher when he lets his hands go. Really quite exciting, quite a fluid puncher. I really like his footwork. And despite him being on the small side, he's very strong. So those are the attributes that I've always seen in Frank that I've rated. And I noticed this first half of the fight, Flowz, from round 1 to 5. Uncharacteristically, Frank was a bit passive, I would say. He wasn't really throwing as much or letting his hands go. And he's known for letting his hands go. And I want to give credit, to the opponent, Artem, who was a bit tricky, a bit awkward, a bit bigger than him as well. I think Frank initially struggled maybe with the size, or just trying to figure this guy out, who was, again, a bit different to what he expected. So I want to credit the opponent on that regard there. But Flowz, from round 6, that's when Frank really, really started getting to work. And that's when he really started to apply a lot of pressure on this guy. And from round 6 onwards, Flowz, it was a wrap. It was a Frank Martin storm. And he really, really went crazy on this guy. and the usual that I'm used to seeing with him in terms of the combination punching, the fluid punch, all that kind of stuff, the footwork. He was really, and the angles as well. He was really having his way with this Artem guy, and he started breaking him down severely. And it's come to a head. I think he had him really hurt in the 11th round. He fell, but it got ruled a slip. I don't know if you remember seeing that, Flowz. But then in the 12th round, again, he's really, really attacked him. And it was so bad. The onslaught was so bad. The assault was so bad that we've seen Artem take a knee voluntarily. Just to, I think, eat up time. There's about a minute left to go. Just eat up some time and just get his breath back, I think. I think Martin had actually damaged his eye as well, actually, to be fair. So, yeah, I think that was very crucial in the end of the fight in terms of the scorecards, because it was a close fight. Even though, like I said, it was a fight of two halves. But that final round and that him going down, that 10-8 round really, really swung the tie in Frank Martin's favor. So, yeah, man, tough opponent for him. But he came through and he showed me some good things in the second half of the fight, which I like to see. So, yeah, good work from Frank. Even though a lot of fans are there saying, "Oh, yeah, you know how it is when a rated boxer has an off night." The fans are quick to say, "Yeah, oh, he's overhyped. This exposed hype train, blah blah." It was a tricky opponent, and he came through it. That's all you can ask for, it really, Flowz, when it's against a guy that's tough. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what you said there. I saw Keyshawn Davis.
I was going to say, did you see his reaction?
Yeah, he was on to him, killing him.
I said, don't compare me to these guys.
He was on to him. I guess with Frank Martin, it's hard to say because these are the type of fights he needs, really and truly. The thing that's working against him is no one knows this dude. That's the only thing that's works against him.
He was good though, Flowz.
He was good.
Yeah.
But the fans don't care. If they don't know him, if they don't know you, then it don't matter. I don't know where he's in the rankings. I know he was much bigger. That's one thing. So his reach was much kind of fraught in Frank. His backhand, his jab, he kept putting the jab out there, the land in the backhand on Frank. And he was doing some good stuff in there, but once Frank got going, he was the guy was ready to go. The guy was on survival mode.
Yeah.
So he won it. Judges had it closer than I had it, but they had it close. And like you say, tale of two halves. I think Frank's still early in his career. I think he's kind of talking to himself and trying to put himself in the mix, which he should be doing naturally. You've got to throw your name in the hat. Boots should be doing more than what Frank's doing. You got to talk yourself up. But yeah, people were getting onto Frank, which I thought was crazy. They were saying, maybe what's his name? Rivera was drugged, and Frank's not really it. Tank will knock him out. But that's going to come when you talk yourself up and you have a jittery performance, not even jittery performance, a performance that isn't punch perfect. People are going to say, yeah, you're not it. We saw it with Shakur against Yoshino. Who was the guy he fought that he wasn't feeling too well? He didn't get the knockout. People were getting onto Shakur.
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name, but I know you're on about though. I remember the fight.
Clearly. And people were saying, Shakur's he's not far away. People were getting onto Shakur. Now everyone's on the Shakur train.
Yeah,
everyone thinks Shakur's the best now, and he went through that. He even won the fight. He dominated that fight, but he was getting touched more than usual. He didn't get the knockout. So yeah, this is just one of those performances you need in your career, really and truly. And he came through it. He got the win. So,
and it's interesting as well because if I compare him to, let's say, Keyshawn, and I guess now obviously this what's his name, Kid Austin's now talking a lot. Frank actually don't talk that much, compared to he actually talks the least out of all of them. Like Frank don't even. Yeah. I want Frank to talk more. He's actually
not loud. He's not as loud as them. Is what? Yeah,
a lot more chilled, a lot more calm and composed. I'd say that Keyshawn we know is a big character. He talks a lot. He's loud. Kid Austin, his dad, him and his dad. the way his dad was moving, fair. But Frank is definitely the more relaxed one out of all of them, I think. And I actually want him to talk up more. But him being composed is one thing, but he's definitely confident in his skills. Frank is hella confident in his skills. So it's interesting to me as well, Flowz, because I'm looking at, for example, remember Frank Martin's last opponent as well was another more well-known but undefeated prospect.
Yeah.
In the Dominican brother who looks like Muhammad Ali. Rivera. Was it Rivera, right?
Yeah, that's his name, I think.
Yeah. Let me confirm. I'm pretty sure it's Rivera, but yeah.
Michelle Rivera? Is that his name?
I think that's his name, yeah. Yeah, Michelle Rivera, yeah. Who was undefeated as well, quite known in America because he looks like Ali. But yeah, Frank beat him comfortably. And now I'll say this Harutyunyan guy is also good, even though he's not as well known. He's good. So his resume is good in terms of he's fighting the right type of fights. If you ask me, Flowz, fellow undefeated prospects or undefeated guys that could pose problems further down the line, he's fighting them now, and he would have learned so much from the fight. Like I said, obviously, we both mentioned that this guy was a lot bigger than Frank, and I think this is something he's going to have to get used to himself because, like I said, I think Frank, if I compare in dimensions, like he's smaller than Haney. Obviously, I'm not going to compare it to Tank. He's smaller than everyone, but yeah, I mean, Sean Davis is bigger than Frank Martin, naturally. So that's something he's going to have to overcome in the division, but he can definitely hang, and I do think there's talent there for sure. And I'm in no rush to see the Keyshawn Davis fight now, Flowz. Don't forget, Keyshawn's still technically a rookie. He's only 7 fights in.
Yeah.
Like, Frank is actually a lot further along. Frank is I think that was his 17th fight. So he's actually a lot further along in his pro development than Keyshawn Davis. That fight doesn't need to happen now. I mean, they should both carry on what they're doing what they're doing. Keyshawn, keep being loud because that's how you drum up interest and whatnot. Keyshawn, keep doing what you're doing. But that fight does not need to happen right now at all. I'm in no rush to see that fight now. They should both keep on building, and when the time comes, it will happen. Why are you creasing?
I'm creasing at Keyshawn because I think he's got problems. I think he's got an issue. The way he's been on FaceTime pulling faces from that video of him pulling up to Cambosis. Didn't say a word. Just queued up like a fan.
Boy moved like a fact. Wait, he dropped a little side and then he cut.
Puppy signs, took a picture, cut out, didn't say a word. So yeah, but yeah, I think Frank's in a good camp as well. I think that helped boost his
100%
his profile. Derek James, he's got Spence in there.
AJ's there now. Ryan Garcia's there. Yeah.
It's a popular camp to be in. So
hey Derek James is having a career, boy. Derek James is really, really he's getting them in right now, and he's smashing it because everyone's with it. So yeah. So
the fact he's in that camp kind of thing, he's he didn't run over to that camp. He's been there. AJ ran over there. Ryan Garcia ran over there. He's been there. He's part of
he's old guard. With Mel and Spence there. They're the ones who've been there day once. Yeah.
So when Spence is talking you up, you got Spence backing you.
Yeah,
Mel's backing
big time. Yeah.
Yeah. I think naturally that puts more eyes on him. So the people who are killing him for this performance, relax.
Come on, man.
Relax.
Come on. But, fans do this every time, man. We're used to it now. It would have been amazing, right, if these two I'm talking about Frank Martin and Keyshawn, were further along in their careers, because it would have been a perfect alley-oop as a co-main feature of the Spence Crawford fight. Imagine that, obviously, because Keyshawn Davis is part of T. Crawford. So it would have been amazing if they were further along in their careers, maybe 10 fights further, for example, and they would have had that as well as a co-main feature or something. But it is what it is. But that's something they can build, right, to become maybe the new Spence and Crawford, right, at 135 or 140 or whatever weight class it is. So I'm sure their man will rock out at some point. Kid Austin in the mix. There's a bunch of other guys I've mentioned in that division that are cold. So I'm sure we're going to see that at some point. But right now, it doesn't need to happen for me. Frank, keep doing what you're doing. Keep lining them up, knocking them down. Keyshawn, you too. And I know we'll get it on at some point.
Yeah, I'm trying to pre where, because Frank Martin's quite happy in the rankings for the WBA. is what I'm seeing here. So
yeah,
that's why he's talking. He has to be calling out these names because he's getting further up in the rankings.
He's closer to getting a shot. Yeah.
Keyshawn's nowhere in sight really. So
interesting as well, Flowz, because you know that Andy Cruz made his debut.
Yeah.
Actually on the undercard of
Baumgardner.
Yeah, and he's got an extensive amateur background, and he's really grabbed the debut. He's grabbed the IBF whenever like the interim belts already. Because they're fast tracking him obviously because of his extensive amateur background. Let me just check what belt he apparently battered this guy. It was easy, like I think it was 10-rounder. So he's gone straight into a 10-rounder. But you know, for the Cubans, they do that. You know, the guys that Lomachenko fought for a title in his second fight, or was it his first fight?
Something stupid.
Something dumb. So like when your amateur background is insane, they'll just throw you in there straight away.
Yeah.
So he went into 10-round. Yeah, he won the vacant IBF international lightweight title. So he's grabbed a little minor belt already straight away. I've got his amateur record here now: 149 fights, 140 wins. So and 3 world championship golds, 1 Olympic gold medal. Yeah, he's cold. But he's in the mix. He's in the mix already. So I know Keyshawn had a lot of words about him as well. He sure had a lot. I said, tell Lil Bro to start turning his punches over. He started going at it like crazy. I think this guy hasn't said a word. He doesn't even speak English, bro.
Eddie Hearns. He was calling Eddie Hearns.
Because Hearn was using his name and saying, "Oh yeah, I've got the guy who beat Keyshawn twice or whatever it was." Because
Eddie Hearns.
Because you've seen the famous viral video of when Keyshawn's talking to the camera saying, "Oh yeah,"
and he was dancing.
Man's there pop locking.
I want to keep taking it to the next level.
Yo, Keyshawn's been the same from day one, you know.
He's got issues. Man.
You're actually right. He might have a screw loose still. He might have a screw loose because he moves mad. But I like it. It's entertaining. Very, very funny. Very entertaining.
And look, that division, that 135 division, stacked.
Said it already, and young potential as well. Young up and comers, bro. Stacked.
What's next for Frank? What do you want for him?
I was going to say Kambosos, but maybe that might be too soon. that might be too soon, Flowz. That might be too soon.
Across the street, though.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Who else? I don't want him to fight the other young guy. I mean, if push comes to shove, he might have to fight one of the young guns, but I don't want to. I want to keep them all apart for now.
Is that Cruz? Pitbull.
Yes.
Sorry, Pitbull Cruz.
Yeah. I think he's mentioned, wanting to fight Pitbull Cruz. To be fair, is Pitbull Cruz still at 135 then, or is he at 140? Because I swear the 140 pounds are calling him out as well.
When did you fight Tank at? Was it 140? No, this Tank you messing it. I don't know where he fought. I think he's 135. He's like Cruz.
Let me check.
Because Shakur called him out when he moved up to 135.
Yeah, I think he's still 135.
He ducked Shakur.
He's at 135 still. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Because he was Shakur said and he was like, nah, they don't want it.
Yeah. But Issa Cruz is a good one.
Jermaine Ortiz is still in. Yeah, we need to see him in action again. Jermaine Ortiz
I really like Jermaine Ortiz, man. Like Jermaine Ortiz is cold to me. And he's big for the weight as well. And
he's on obviously, is he on ESPN? He must be on ESPN.
Yeah, he's top rank. He's top rank. I'm pretty sure he's got a fight soon, actually, Jermaine Ortiz. Let me check.
He should do. He better do.
He's good. I definitely want to see him more. No, he hasn't actually. Damn. But he's cold. I like Jermaine Ortiz a lot. Hopefully we see him soon. But yeah, maybe Pitbull Cruz. Something of that ilk. That would actually be a tough fight for him, to be fair. But I think
he's got a fight coming up. Pitbull. He's on the undercard, isn't he? That's good timing. That's good timing. Yeah. Maybe they can make it next year.
Maybe, yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see. But shout out to Frank. Keep doing what you're doing. The Ghost. I'm a fan of Frank Martin, man. I think he's good. He's a good fighter still. I can't wait for all these young bulls to really flesh out and really grow. I said Kid Austin, Abdullah Mason. There's bare of them, man, and they're all gonna come true, and it should be nice to see. Yeah, man. Yeah, Flowz. I think that's it. You know, just to mention, I guess. Oh wait, no. Josh Kelly. Quickly, let's talk about Josh Kelly quickly.
Yeah.
He fought about what is it a Roscoe, undefeated Argentinian guy? He fought.
Yeah, Corzo or whatever.
What was it? Corzo, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he fought. I watched it. Josh Kelly doing the same thing he does.
Same Josh Kelly.
Trying to look flashy, but in all honesty, it's pretty boring because you're getting caught with your hands down. And luckily, this dude has no power.
Zero power.
Josh Kelly won pretty much every round, fair play to him. But my man was landing that left hook on Josh Kelly all night. But just because Josh Kelly, he poses and because he's got hand speed and he will land, and the guy might land one, but this guy has no power.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just waiting to happen. As soon as he steps up again, he's getting stopped. I'm sorry.
that I was gonna say, Flowz, my issue with him, Josh Kelly, yes, he won every round and cool, he did his usual Josh Kelly stuff. But what he was doing in the ring, Flowz, it's just not gonna fly against top quality opposition, man. It's just not, man. It's not gonna fly. You'll get hit with something mean and you'll get stopped again. Simple as. Like, cool. The Corzos, cool. You can do that. You can afford to do that. But
Troy Williamson's, yeah, cool.
Yeah, but again, it's like we're seeing the play happen again, Flowz. Like we're seeing the frames ahead in the future, and we'll be sat here when it happens inevitably and say, "Look, we told you so." He has to change that style, man. He has to change that style. Put your damn hands up. Well, there's one round he didn't have his hands up the entire round. That was one round he was like that, I swear.
I heard someone say, I don't know if he was calling to say, use the jab, put something in front of him. And Bahama was standing there posing, not afraid of anything, waiting to land his combination or land a hook. And I was just like, used it. Look, it looks flashy, but in reality it's not, because you're not doing anything. You're doing that speed, you're not getting people out of there, and you're getting caught. Your nose was busted. Yeah,
this is a guy with 3 stoppages in his entire career in 20 fights. Just putting it out there.
The first round, the guy landed left hook, right hook, boom, about just getting. But he poses, so you won't really clock that he's been caught.
Yeah.
But acts like he's been caught. Yeah, get him out of here,
man. Cool. Also worth mentioning as well, Flowz. Yeah, George Kambosos Jr. is in action against Maxi Hughes. I guess, Maxi Hughes shouldn't provide. Kambosos should wash him, to be fair. I guess Kambosos, Maxi Hughes is he's having 5-6 losses now. I guess this is just a comeback fight for Kambo. Obviously, 2 tough fights with Devin Haney, 2 tough losses. Get him back on the rebuild. I'm sure he will come through that quite easily. And funny enough, Keyshawn Davis is also in action against Patera, Francesco Patera. Expect Keyshawn Davis to come through that as well quite comfortably.
I don't know about easily Kambosos, but once again, fair play to Kambosos. He's not taking.
Go on. Sorry, I think
he's not taking. I think he should win, but I don't think it'll be a washing. I think he'll win most of the rounds. I think it could be quite competitive. But fair play to Kambosos for not taking complete food. Like he'll win this fight. I fully expect him to win this fight, but at the same time, he's shown minerals that other fighters aren't showing. He could have just taken anything. He could have picked up anything. He's fighting someone in like the top 10, Maxi Hughes. Hughes has had some big wins in his last few fights. So shout out to Kambosos. I think he'll win.
Yeah, one thing I'll say about Kambosos.
I want to shout out Maxi. Maxi can squabble.
One thing I would always say about Kambosos, which I noticed from day one, Flo, is that he is willing to fight everyone. Like, he puts his money where his mouth is. He doesn't duck, doesn't run. He wants to back himself and get better. So, I expect him to. Would you say, Maxi's better than Crawler? When Crawler fought Kambosos, was it Crawler that Kambosos beat up?
Was it Crawler? It was Crawler.
It was Crawler. Would you say, because I would have thought Crawler was better than Maxi Hughes? I can't lie. I rate Crawler more when he fought Kambosos.
I was trying to think at the time of just Crawler fought since. Call it a day.
I'm pretty sure he's. I don't think he's been out since, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Crawler can actually box, Like he can box.
Yeah, but that was a close fight against Crawler. He won. Kambosos won, but it was a close fight.
Yeah, I thought it was a comfortable Kambosos win, but
I thought he might rob Kambosos though.
I'm just looking. Is it definitely Crawler? Wait.
Who was it?
I think it was Corzo, you know. I'm just looking at Corzo's record. I can't see Kam Flowz there. Wait.
No, it was
Selby. That's the one. Yes.
Selby,
sorry.
Selby,
I meant Selby. Yeah, you're not Crawler. Selby, yes.
Yeah, he's better. Actually, he's better than Selby.
Do you reckon Selby? Selby's not bad though. Selby's decent.
Yes. Right now, for what maybe King Galahad was finished. King Galahad was finished.
That King Galahad performance was peak.
But I think he has motivation for it. It was Lee Selby. I remember it now.
Yeah, it was Selby.
Let's say Collar. Who did Collar lose to? Collar lost. Hasn't fought since he.
Collar lost to he lost to what? Loma. And then he fought. Yeah, he lost to Loma. Linares twice. Linares beat him up twice.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
All right. Yeah. Cool. All right, Flowz. Well, yeah. Listeners, this is episode 151 with SZN Podcast. Once again, I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, guys, keep tuning in to the streaming platforms. Peace.
You take it a strap. I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.